It's a floating walkway. It's one of the entrances. So my guide just let me know that the sun has risen, but it's in the jungle. Actually, I can see it now. So he's told me to come over here. We won't be able to see the sun popping on the temple to that side right up. There's a hot air balloon. People are fucking around with the monkey.
They say that Angkor Wat temple built as a tomb of the mausoleum of the King Surya Varman II. The west is the direction where the sunset is referred to them. Their lives, so the temple were built for their gods. But when they die, so the temple would become their tomb. Over here, it's depicting about the military procession. Some temple they actually found the sarcophagus or the stone coffin in there, but there's no remains inside. Probably they could just bury the ashes of the king, and over here it's melted away, and there's nothing inside of the stone coffin at all. Yeah, they actually found it in the main tower of Angkor Wat temple, but there's nothing. There's nothing in there, only the stone coffin. It's a small coffin. They probably put the dead people like a fetal position, yeah, in the coffin like that, because they believe in reincarnation or life cycle. Those statues is too heavy to take it, and then they could just cut it in and sell it in the black market, sell it in Thailand and buy it in Singapore. But it's referred to the monasteries where the monks live. In the ancient time, no one allowed to live inside of the temples. When they lived outside, even the king themselves did not live inside of the temple. Yeah? But Angkor Wat, let's say, it was like the Hindu temples, constructed by the Hindu king Surya Varman II in 1113 to 1150. So it took almost 37 years to build, but it has never finished. The King Surya Varman II built Angkor Wat temple dedicated to Vishnu god. It is one of the three main gods in Hinduism, and he stands for protection. There were hundreds of gods in Hinduism, but they picked up three main gods to mention about, such as Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. This is actually God and demon flank this causeway here. So God on the left and demon on the right, yeah? And there's an entry tower into the capital city of Angkor Wat with the four faces of Buddha. You got the four faces of Buddha up there, but at Bayon we get to see a lot more, yeah, of the faces of Buddha up there. Thom means big or great. Angkor means city. Angkor Thom means big city or great city.
There's monkey. Oh yeah.
We have like a huge long wall surrounding this capital city. Each of it was 3 kilometers on each side. With a population of 1 million people living here back to the late 12th century. Wow. The largest city could be in the world back then. Hole, but you don't see the peg in there. So this is actually the wooden peg in the stone or in the hole. But then again, was actually when they bring the stone here, they're gonna chisel into the stone about 20 to 30 centimeters deep, and they make this peg wet, and then they start hit them in. After that, they're gonna use the rope or the wire to tie it up to make sure that this peg won't loose, and then the elephant would drag it. And then over here, they're gonna do these kinds of stuff here, actually to make it easy for people to smooth this up, to smooth the stones. You got the 3 surface of the stone gonna be well smooth. when we rub it back and forth. But like this, it's too hard. Yeah. But this just because of the water, it make it roll easily. Normally, it was actually we could not make the move like this. And then again, was actually they're gonna go drop it down a little bit because there's a wet on the stone down here. Yeah, and again, people just pour the water in here to make it. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually to make it was actually to remove some of this from these kinds of stuff here and make the stone was actually smooth. The Chinese. Vishnu, the protector, Brahma was the creator, while Shiva was the god of destruction. But it doesn't mean that he was a bad god. He just destroyed bad things or bad spirit in order to save the good.
So we got some free time to wander around here on our own, so I'll tell you about it. This is $37 for one-day entrance. Really, I think the most expensive thing I've come to, place I've come to. $15 was the tour I booked for my hostel, which is this group I'm with, and the tour guide, and the transportation, which is, I think that's the cheapest I found, because all the other ones you have to book a tuk-tuk and a tour guide separately or get a private tour. So I think booking 3 hostels is the best way, because then it's with a group. That's not bad.
In the ancient time, when they started to build a temple, they think about having the moat outside. We saw the moat surrounding the temples, not just to keep the enemies away, but the most important thing about the moat is to help keep the foundation of the temple was actually firm or solid. Because the base of the temple is not just only built out of lava rock or volcanic rock, but there's a sand base. They have to dig into the ground for the maximum depth, and then they refill it with sand. The sand needs to be wet all year round. They did not just have the moat surrounding the temple, but at the same time, they built a temple designed with many pools in there, so that when it rained a lot for 6 months, the water is gonna absorb into the base, and you're gonna make the sand base which is really wet and packed.
It's the faces that keep getting me. How look, made of all the different stone blocks. It doesn't smell too great though. Is that a toilet? You can't really see on this light, can you? I think they're meant to be the faces of Buddha, like the 4 faces of Buddha. Which is your favourite?
So my favourite temple is the temple with lots of trees. It's called Taprum. It's the one with lots of tree growing on the temple.
Yeah?
Yeah. Tomb Raider temple.
Tomb Raider, okay. We're going to that one soon.
We're going to start it soon after our breakfast.
Yeah.
Or coffee break. We're going to go there. You see so many beautiful trees there.
This is a different game, isn't it?
A different one, but many had gone. Compared to the first entrance or into the capital city, there are many heads over there. But
for breakfast.
so in the ancient time, we used 4 or 5 different materials to build the temple. The first material was a sandstone, but the sandstone quarry was far away from here. It's almost 40 to 50 kilometers away. We call Kulane Mountains. At that time, we used thousands of elephants in order to drag the stone from there to this area. That's the reason why so many stone blocks we get to see many holes. So the second material was a lava rock or volcanic rock. We have no volcano in Cambodia, but we have a lot of these kinds of stone in the ground back to 1,000 years ago. But volcano maybe happened somewhere in our countries before the temple was built. But when we get taught to be a tour guide, we learn that this kind of stone is very soft when it stays in the ground because it goes between the clay. Yeah? When we took it out from the ground, we have to dry it in the sun to harden it first before we can use it. But this kind of stone is very brittle, it can break easily. So then we do not use this kind of stone for carving, we just use for the foundation. And then some temples, the king could not find the more stone or the leftover stone from the other temples. This king used even a lot of lava rock to form the galleries, even the arch of the building of those temples. And the third material was a brick. Brick is kinds of clay, yeah? a clay brick which is very small piece. To build a temple out of brick, they use a lot of glue in order to stick all these brick together. But sandstone temple, no glue and mortar.
Lots of Christmas
The
trees.
stone just stacked on top of the other to build the whole temples. But when you are able to visit the temple built out of brick, you got to see the interior part of the building. You can see like a drip of glue, because when the whole building almost 100% complete, they're gonna smoke it up in order to make the glue actually melt. So then brick and brick would stick very well together.
What is that up there?
Beehives.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
No, the one you're saying is a dinosaur.
The dinosaur up
Yeah.
there. Yeah. It looks like a boar or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And the fourth material was wood. Wood is considered as a light material. It won't last very long. Used in the temples, focusing on the ceiling, make like wooden ceiling, and the door of the temple built out of wood too. You see the sandstone door. Normally, it's a fake door. A false door could not be opened because they could not make like a big hinge, and the big block of sandstone door is too heavy to open and shut. So then they make the wooden door in the temples. But they use wood a lot to build the king's palace, and also people's resident or the people around here also build out of wood. However, they're not allowed to live inside of the temples, but they could live in this area, but in the wooden houses. They live very close to the temple, so we have some people to help maintain or to look after the temple. Angkor Wat was a Hindu temple, but it's not stay as always as a Hindu temple. Yeah, it's converted into a Buddhist temple in the 16th century. Yeah, when Buddhist king became to power, he decided to remove the Hindu statue that used to be inside of the main tower to keep it outside by the west entrance as well as by the second level. They believe that the people gonna pray for a different religion. As a Buddhist king, they were very tolerant. They do not mind which people pray to which religion them. Like today, some people want to come here to pray in front of Hindu statue. Some of them just walk further into the second levels where the 1,000 statue of Buddha is there. Just pray in front of the Buddha statue inside here. The way to build the temples, ancient time, it's a different. So we're going to start it from inside and spread it outside. Because building this way is going to make it easy for the elephants to bring the stone up higher.
Oh, come to a local market that our tour guide suggested. So it's very rainy, so it looks underneath shelter. Not a lot going on here. Biggest avocados I've ever seen. Frogs. My frog.
Okay.
Cold. We'll go to the lake first.
No reaction?
Yeah, you're right, that's like chicken. It's a lot like chicken. Let's try the rest of this. Ah, it's full of vegetables and everything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's really nice, that stuff. Really tasty. I'd recommend the frog.
How many stars?
Out of 10,
Yeah?
I'd say a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I reckon it'd be like an 8 if it was hot. And it's not spicy.
That's good.
That's nice. I'm changing these shoes, they are so slippy. Shoes changed and I can walk normally. They've just got lights everywhere, always. Say nuggets, yeah.
Because I love nuggets and my friends made fun of me.
Well, this is the night market. Odd mix. Mexican and Khmer cuisine. And this is Pub Street. I got it wrong. That's Pub Street.